Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN, presented by Nike. TGIF, and thank God we are in Rosemont, Illinois. No place I would rather be. We're getting ready for the first of 3 games to celebrate our final weekend, week 5 of Athletes Unlimited Softball. We will crown a champion when it's all said and done. Our lid lifter, first game, Team Flippin going to take on Team Gibson. Interesting matchup right now. You got Danielle Gibson, who was just wonderful a week ago. She has bounced up that leaderboard to the number 2 spot, which means she is now a captain for the very first time. She'll be matching wits with a good friend of hers, Hannah Flippin. Again, a wonderful week last week to move her into the top 4. Flip is currently 3rd on the leaderboard. She is a captain calling the shots as she plays her final weekend here in week 5. This is your leaderboard, 1 through 10. Odyssey Alexander continues to flex her muscle. She's been in the top spot for a couple of weeks. You also have Gibson and Flippin 2 and 3. Our 4th and final captain is Alyssa Denham. She will be captaining the other team that will play Team Alexander for our nightcap today. I'm so glad you found us with my partner Danielle Laurie. I am Eric Collins. This is week 5 of Athletes Unlimited Softball. The big story, Danielle, in week 4 with Athletes Unlimited Softball was the play of Team Alexander. They were dominant from soup to nuts, and as a result of that, everyone on last week's Team Alexander team has been broken up, and the top 4 players from that team are now 4 individual captains.
Yeah, and there's something to be said about going into the last week where you can control your destiny. And you look at Alexander, Team Alexander had to lose 3 of her good friends from last week because they're all captains this week. So super fun that they get to control this, and week 5 is always pretty interesting. And across the board, Odyssey Alexander has been phenomenal. 11-game win streak. But for me, it's those first-time captains. You look at Gibby, Danielle Gibson, 354 stat points, 2nd in that league. But Hannah Flippin last week led this league of 568 points she earned in week 4. Not only that, she's fighting for that top spot, and now in the captain chair, she gets the opportunity to help her cause, make some big decisions. But man, last weekend she was explosive. Ginormous grand slam that sealed her 4 more ribbies, 7 on the weekend. She was phenomenal.
All right, let's get it started. Let's take a look at Hannah Flippin's starting lineup. Flip puts Victoria Hayward, the proud Canadian, in the number 1 spot. No one has ever had more base hits with Athletes Unlimited than Vic, 67 of them in 4 years. Kelsey Harshman also on the Canadian national team with Vic. She hits right behind her. Tori Vidalis, Mia Davidson, tons of power in the cleanup spot. Flippin puts herself 5th in the order. Delaney Wiz, Lily Piper, Jasmine Jackson, the veteran, and Sydney McKinney, the rookie, is out in right field. Rachel Garcia in the top 10 on the leaderboard. She's number 8 currently. She will be the starting pitcher for Team Gibson.
Nobody better than Rachel Garcia getting the ball to open this up. Look at her numbers, 41 innings pitched, leads this league. 49 strikeouts, leads the league as well. Gets to open it up big for Team Gibby.
I couldn't ask for a better day for professional softball here in the Chicagoland area. Sun splashed after a couple of days in triple digits, 100-degree temperatures, nowhere close to that. Relatively cool day for mid-August. First pitch of the game is in there for a strike to Victoria Hayward. Hayward currently 45th out of 60 players on the leaderboard. Needs a couple of hits this weekend to ensure another 300 batting average. It's usually where we find Vic. 70 miles per hour, so good speed right out of the chute for Rachel Garcia. A little bit high, so of the first 4 pitches thrown by Garcia, 3 of them have missed the mark. Count is now 3-1 to Hayward. Taking, and it's ball 4. So a 5-pitch walk to Hayward. And she is aboard.
And this is Rachel Garcia pretty much almost every outing. I mean, she mixes so well. She's really utilized the changeup more so than ever. She will climb that ladder, a little bit of an off-speed curve on the outer half to those right-handed hitters. If I'm going to critique anything, I think she needs to limit those walks. That's her 29th walk of the season. And I think that's at times why the pitch count gets so high. She's someone that when she gets the ball in her hand and she starts a game, she's throwing over 100 pitches every single game. And I think when hitters know you.
There goes Hayward down to second, and she's safe. Final weekend of the year, and Vic's trying to get her points. Stolen bases are a +10. Remember, she got on via the walk. That's a +8. So 18 early points for Victoria Hayward.
Just goes to show how fast she is with Edwards behind the dish and how good she is with this ball up in the zone. Sis Bates applies the tag on the feet, but just not in time.
Harshman goes the other way. Foul from the get-go. Harshman had a real good weekend. 4 for 10 week 4 with a homer. She's got the batting average at .359, a couple of homers. She has been super solid from the beginning of the season till right now. Going the other way, as she's prone to do, and again, it slides foul.
And there is something to be said about Rachel Garcia and having to throw more pitches. I will say that the para hitters here and how good they are to just barrel control through the zone, they're so good at making a pitcher work. And we know Garcia as being that strikeout pitcher.
Again, going the opposite way, and this spins Bubba Nichols all the way around, but she's still able to make the play. That's the first out of our ball game. Hayward tags and goes from second to third. Nice professional play by Bubba Nichols out there in left field.
When sometimes you just never know with the wind, it can be swirling around. Her feet kind of get crossed up at first, but man, she's so good to be able to turn, get in the direction where the ball is, and just make that big time catch. That run scoring, if she does not catch that, that's big by Bubba.
So now runner on at third, one out. Here's Tori Vidalis. Vidalis with an opportunity to drive in a run by putting the ball somewhere out in the green. Over the last 4 years, one of the best run producers in the history of Athletes Unlimited softball, Tori Vidalis. One ball and one strike.
Man, that pitch. I know the velo came in at 72 on the TV, but on our Yakkertech, it's coming in at 73.4 miles an hour on the hands. That is tough.
2-1 now to Vidalis. TV Tori heating up as the season goes along. 4 for 8 a weekend ago with a homer and a double.
Love the setup pitches here by Garcia. Back-to-back pitches on the inner half with that backdoor curveball, then goes away with that curve. Now she could potentially go away or up again.
Got her, went upstairs. First strikeout for Rachel Garcia, and that's a big out. There's now 2 down here in the first.
Well, and everything is about the setup pitch prior. When you're throwing a pitch, it's to set up a pitch like this. And the pitch is on the inner half at 70 to 73 miles an hour to then get the big swing and miss on the curveball away, sets up the rise ball in underneath the hands and makes it so darn tough on a hitter. It's making sure that you can swing the bat on pitches that you know she's coming in the zone with. For instance, a curveball at a 0-0 count that she can get ahead with. As a right-handed hitter, I'd be trying to poke that to right field. Because we all know when Garcia can get a ball to a ball and a half off the plate, she's probably one of the most dangerous pitchers in this league because she can go up, down, change.
1-1 to Mia Davidson.
And it's funny that Mia Davidson's up, I was going through stats and looking at stuff. She actually has the furthest ball hit at 297 feet and 84.4 miles an hour exit velo coming off of Rachel Garcia earlier on in the season. So we all know that Garcia can supply that power throwing low 70s and with the pop of a Mia Davidson bat. Whew.
You know, Garcia got herself into this bit of hot water. Walked the leadoff batter, Victoria Hayward, who stole second base, moved to third on a fly ball out. There are now 2 outs.
I'm just taking a peek here at Mia Davidson. I mean, if I'm going in, I'm going way in. That is not a pitch that I want her to be able to turn on so quick with her hands. I'm going to stay away with that curveball, that off speed, and try to get her to chase.
Well, she hit the outside part of the plate, and it's called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Rachel Garcia. So Hayward is stranded at third. When we come back, Team Gibson heading to the bat rack.
Like Mike, if I could be like Mike.
You want to be like the greats? First, believe you are. Greatness requires drip, not like that, like this. The greats aren't afraid to fail. They're fueled by it. Trophies require greatness, but greatness doesn't require trophies. Because greatness isn't about what you've done, it's about what you do next.
Rachel Garcia puts a 0 on the board against Team Flippin in the top of the first inning. And now Team Gibson will bat in the bottom of the first against Megan Faremo. The captain for Team Gibson, Danielle Gibson, was dynamite a week ago.
Yeah, she really is one of a kind. Just the confidence that she has in the lefty batter's box. She is so good. She can take you yards. She has such good ability to go to all fields. She's confident. She really is coming into her own here, and that's why you see her in that second spot wearing orange. Love to see it.
Here's the lineup card for Danielle Gibson, first-time captain here in championship season play. Bubba Nichols, she was captain a week ago, leads things off out in left field. The veteran Megan Wiggins in the 2 spots. Sierra Romero, a captain for a couple of weeks this year. Rachel Garcia's going to bat for herself in the 5 spot. Nadia Taylor, Taylor Edwards. That's the tailor-made section of the order. Then you got Abby Ramirez, normally a middle infielder. She's playing out in right field today. And Sis Bates, she will bat in the 9th spot. That 9 will bat against the rookie from UCLA, one of the hardest throwers in the world today, Megan Faremo.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm always down with a Garcia Faremo in the circle. A couple of UCLA Bruins going at it. And Megan Faremo has been so much fun to watch. Her rookie campaign here in Athletes Unlimited. She's fearless. She takes a circle and will just absolutely go at you. And you love to see it with the caliber of hitters in this league. She has been really fun to watch.
Faremo early on in the season, one of the captains after her stellar play. She's fallen off a bit, currently in the 16th spot, 16th out of 60 on the leaderboard. While we continue with the UCLA theme, Bubba Nichols, former Bruin, leads things off against Faremo. Nichols swings to the first pitch, pops it up. Sun's a factor, but not to KJ. Harshman makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Actually came to the ballpark a couple hours before the game, and there was rain. But you wouldn't believe it if I told you. It's absolutely beautiful right now. Here's Megan Wiggins, 21st out of 60 players on the leaderboard. 2 homers for the veteran Wiggins. Number 1 on the leaderboard, Odyssey Alexander. She will captain her team later tonight. It'll be Team Alexander against Team Denham. That's a matchup of 1 and 2. Odyssey Alexander and Alyssa Denham, the top 2 players on the leaderboard entering the final weekend. It's going to be an important game tonight. Ball and 2 strikes to Wiggins.
Megan Wiggins going in her 13th season as a pro. Played in that MPF. Led the MPF in home runs 3 separate times. So just goes to show the pop off the bat.
Goes the opposite field. And making a nice play, Jasmine Jackson. So 2 down.
Love to see it. Outies and left, playing great defense. At times, I mean, we are in the Windy City. That ball gets up a little bit. At times, you don't know what's going to happen. But we all know the slogan that, you know, infield can hurt you, but outfield can kill you. And that's one thing that I've really seen with Athletes Unlimited. I mean, they are putting some speedy peeps out there that are doing just their job, and they make it look so easy. I can say that across the board for a lot of these women, they make stuff look so easy, yet it is absolutely not.
Here's Sierra Romero. Ball 1 to Romero. Romero 11th on the leaderboard. Hit her first home run of the season a weekend ago.
There's that curveball that Megan Framo throws. And if I'm a right-handed hitter, I'm definitely doing my homework and understanding. I mean, I'm looking at stuff pregame. 63% of the time, she's getting that curveball for a strike. When you step into the box, you obviously want to have a plan of attack against a hitter and say, hey, what side of the plate do I want to hammer? And at times, with a percentage of 63% away, that's a pitch that I want to be on time with, knowing she's going to bring it in the zone.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Romero. Framo threw a no-hitter a couple of weeks ago. Just the 2nd no-hitter in Athletes Unlimited history, joining Kat Osterman.
I'm not sure there's anything harder to do. Maybe a perfect game. But, I mean, with how good these hitters are and the experience that they have, to be able to do that really just cements yourself into the history piece for me, because there's only been one other person to do it, and you think about how many games have been played. But to me, I think what really made it was just the emotion after she threw that last pitch and she got out of it. Like, she's definitely a pitcher that throws on that raw emotion, and that's why she has been one of my favorites to watch at UCLA and now here at Athletes Unlimited.
Ball 4. So Romero is aboard. Chance for a 2-out rally for Team Gibson. And the captain, Danielle Gibson, will bat against Framo.
I'm not sure if you're hearing her plate song, but you know who it is?
You know what? I was actually thinking about something else. I totally tuned out.
Come on.
I wasn't listening.
Biggie. That's why she's one of my faves.
All right. Gibson's got that C on her chest. First time she's been a captain here in championship season play. 3 homers, 12 runs batted in, and another base hit for Gibson. Just crushes it to right field. Hit it so quickly that Romero is almost out as she overran second base and decided she couldn't make it to third on that well-struck ball.
Well, she just absolutely crushes this. 81 miles an hour off the bat. And that's why Sierra Romero a little crossed up. I'm not sure if she knew how hard that was hit to McKinney in right, but she just finds a way to get her hand in there. Love the effort by Kelsey Harshman. But that was hot off the bat by Danielle Gibson.
Everything that Danielle Gibson does this weekend is going to be huge for her. Currently second on the leaderboard. That's a +10 with the base hit. Now if Rachel Garcia can drive in Sierra Romero from second, it'll be an inning win for everyone on Team Gibson. Each and every inning is going to be super vital for the players who are still in contention to be the overall champion on the leaderboard.
Well, and to me too, there's just this different ability to turn something on when there is so much on the line. And not that every weekend hasn't been a real treat, but Rachel Garcia not being one of the top dogs right now, like, you know, she's going into this weekend wanting to pull a Hannah Flippen and get over 500 points to move up as high as she possibly can and try to just cause chaos. That's the type of player that she is. And not to mention on both sides of the ball, she can step in the box and help herself out as well as what she's doing in the circle right now.
Off-speed pitch, a beauty. 2-2.
Not to mention, Rachel Garcia, to me, is a player that she leads all players in stat points. 232 stat points coming into this game. And every single athlete that has won Athletes Unlimited has always been the leader in stat points. But you look at Odyssey Alexander in the top spot, she's not the leader in stat points. Rachel Garcia is. So it's kind of just funky how stuff plays out with the success of, yeah, stat points are up, but win points are down. And when you're not able to win those games, you can see yourself sometimes not climbing up like you want to.
3-2 pitch. Popped up. It's going to be playable. One-handed grab made by Mia Davidson, and the side is retired. So for Amo, a little bit of traffic behind her, puts a 0 on the board. Second inning's going to be worth 20 points.
I'm Technical Sergeant Reese Singleton. The Air National Guard's motto is always ready, always there. We proudly partner with Athletes Unlimited, who support players who are always ready to compete for the top spot. Let's find out who climbed their way up the leaderboard rankings to earn the title of the Air National Guard's Mover of the Week.
Beautiful stuff. It's been Hannah Flippen doing some big-time movement on up. She moved up 9 spots a week ago. All she had to do was go 5 for 9, couple of homers, a double. 7 runs batted in, 4 of them on that swing of the bat. A grand slam home run. She was part of the perfect Team Alexander team that ran the table and went 3-0, winning 19 of 21 innings.
Wow. You just look at how she's continued to climb that leaderboard. Starts out at 22, 19, week 3, 12, and then makes that heavy push week 4. It just goes to show it does not matter how you start, it's how you finish. And listen, across the board, there is a lot of averages that are down here for some of these women. Haley McClinney is a prime example. I think she's batting 125 on the season, but to me, on base percentage is higher, 11 walks on the season. These athletes still, even though, hey, I'm not able to go 3, 4 for 10 and bat 300-400, I can still find ways to be successful, get on base, and utilize the scoring system. That's really what it comes down to, and being able to help your team win. And why this concept is so special and unique, it's because, hey, I can still have a tough day, but get a sacrifice fly and get some points on the board for myself, move the runner, inning points, win points, the list goes on.
Hannah Flippen, third on the leaderboard, will be followed by Delaney Wiz and Lily Piper, batting against Rachel Garcia. Both sides not able to scratch in the first inning, so this inning will be worth 20 to whichever team wins it. It's already been a productive summer for Hannah Flippen. Most outstanding player, Group A play at the World Cup, member of Team USA earlier this summer. And it's not over for her when this AU season draws to a close on Sunday. She's going to head back over to Japan and continue playing professionally over there.
And that's really where you learn a lot about yourself. Not only are you in another country playing with a team that has won back-to-back gold medals in the Olympics in 08 and 2020, you see how they go about their business. But I think more importantly, when I played over there, a lot of personal growth. You're away from everyone you love. You're grinding in the game that you've known. You learn a lot about how you want to be better in this game, how you can get better, and I think how to deal with some of those lonely times when you are alone there.
First out in the second inning. All right, for more on Hannah Flippen, let's check in with Savannah Collins.
Thanks, Eric. Talking to first-time captain Hannah Flippen this week, she said everything about her Athletes Unlimited experience so far has led to this point, getting to lead her own team. Here's how. She said first, she loves managing an infield, making practice plans, things like that. Second, she's been in a supporting role to her captains many times. She likes to kind of be their number 2 when it comes to running a team. But here's my favorite. She said that she makes lineups after every draft. She loves to put the puzzle pieces together. So for every team that she's been drafted to and every opposing team that's been created, she builds potential lineups. She likes to see how would she put these people in a batting order? Where would she position them? So she says now, leading her own team, she's getting to do it for the first time as a captain.
Great stuff, Savannah. Yeah, one of the keys I felt all season long, and actually for the last handful of years, is when people are able to draft a Hannah Flippen, she makes the head coach's job so much easier. Nice play by Sierra Romero battling the sun. Hannah Flippen can play second, she can play short, she can play third, she can hit in the top spot of the order, she can hit in the middle run-producing spot of the order. She's the type of player that you can win with because she is so malleable in all the different things that she can do.
Well, to me, she's a player that you can always count on in the sense of where her emotions are at. To me, Hannah Flippen is someone that I've never seen get too high or never seen get too low. And how she started Athletes Unlimited, like the struggle was real there for a bit. Like she was lining out, but that doesn't count as a hit, that's an out. There were so many things that she was doing well, but it wasn't showing. But she continued to stick on the grind, kept the emotions where they needed to be, keep herself in check, and here she is week 5 as a captain. And fully prepared for this, based on what Savannah is saying. I mean, she's making up her own lineups. She's ready to rock now that she finally gets to make those decisions.
0-2 to count to Lily Piper. 2 homers on the year for Piper. 4-year veteran here of Athletes Unlimited play. Off the thumbs, a lot of spin on that. No worries, look at Sis Bates. Airtight. Piper better try someone else. Sis doesn't make too many mistakes. Scoreless, half inning. Back in a moment.
of times as girls and as women, we're taught to be humble. But there's a point when that confidence, you need to turn it up.
You wake up, you open your eyes, it is game day.
I did not want to be late.
Racing to the field and getting those butterflies.
The sounds, the smells.
We thought we were so tough, putting on eye black.
Acting like you're a stud even though you're 10 years old.
That one swing that just feels so good.
You're figuring out who you are, and you're doing it together.
Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN is sponsored by Nike and by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact. There is not a professional league in the world that has better images and better history keeping than Athletes Unlimited, in large part because of what Jade Hewitt has done. She has just been a fixture as the lead photographer, done fantastic stuff of documenting everything about Athletes Unlimited. So I tip my cap to you, Jade. Phenomenal work. It's a 0-0 game, bottom of the second inning. For every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season, Aspiration is committed to planting 10 trees. Heading into this week, 1,670 trees have been committed this season thanks to Aspiration's support. And none of the trees anywhere in the Chicagoland area seem to be blowing at all. Just talking it over with Statman to the Stars, Rob Geese, who's seen more softball than anyone here at Athletes Unlimited. He says he does not remember a game ever played here in this ballpark where the flags have been as still as they are right now.
Wow, that's saying something,
Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah.
Seen a lot of games.
Stepping up. Resident historian of everything, stat-wise and breeze-wise.
Hey, I will say, these women have had to go through the ringer this week. It has been close to 100 degrees every single day, and it's in the 80s today. And when I went down on the field, they're all like, we're so happy that it's 80 degrees today. It has been a fuego week here in Rosemont. I got off the airplane yesterday and felt like I was instantly in a sauna. So they're happy with where the weather's at.
Weather.
No,
for everyone who didn't play at University of Washington, this is softball weather.
100 degrees on turf is not softball weather. Sorry if people from Texas are tuning in, or it's not. I'll go a cool 85. Tapped out at 90.
Here's Nadia Taylor. She'll be followed by Taylor Edwards and then Abby Ramirez. Good at bat there by Nadia. She draws the walk. Second walk allowed by Paremo. And the leadoff batter is aboard here in the second inning.
Well, an inning points on the line. You have those 20 rollover inning points here. So if Team Gibson is able to score a run, 20 points would be given to each woman on that team. You can earn points in 3 different ways. It's those win points. Winning a game gets you 50, as well as winning each inning gets you 10. And then you have those MVP points that are voted on by the players post-game. 60 for MVP 1, 40 for MVP 2, and 20. And then you can get them by performing well on your own, those stat points. So you step in the box, you rip a triple, that's 30 points. Pitchers are able to earn points by recording outs. So Megan Framo, for every single out she records, whether it's a strikeout, ground out, fly out, +4, -10 for every earned run. So you can see how pitchers can have some success, but also get themselves in trouble with some of these hitters if they give up that earned run.
1 ball and 1 strike to Edwards. Good steamer, 67 miles per hour. And the count is now 1-2. Edwards, 42nd out of 60 players on the leaderboard. Still looking for a first homer. I can't recall any season where Taylor Edwards has played, and she's played for a decade now professionally, in which she didn't have a homer. So I'm not saying it, but I think she's going to hit a homer this weekend. She's not going to go in the offseason without.
You're pulling a Bianca Stelli.
If that's what you're going to call it, yeah. There's just no possible way she's going to go into the winter without a homer next to her name. Taylor, the runner out at first. High pop-up. Will it stay in the field of play? It will not.
Man, I got excited, though, for a hot minute. That got up there. Thought maybe, but no.
No wind?
No wind. Aw.
This inning is worth 20 points.
Good battle by Taylor Edwards. One thing I will say about those catchers at times have a little bit more of an advantage because they've gotten to face these pitchers behind the dish. They're calling pitchers. They know the break. They know the tendencies.
Softly hit and caught by Davidson in foul territory. That ball had dropped. There's a good chance it would have spun into foul territory. Davidson didn't take the chance. That's the first out.
A really good job by Megan Framo. This pitch is 54 miles an hour. So going from 67 to 69 miles an hour and being able to pull the string at 54 makes it extremely tough as a hitter when you're battling in some of those counts.
Here's Abby Ramirez. It has been a revival for Abby Ramirez. Didn't play much first couple of weeks, but got an opportunity of recent games, and she has produced big time. She's 5 for 13 on the season and getting a starting opportunity today out in right field, which is a new position for Abby.
And right field, to me, for these day games.
Oh, they're not doing her any favor, no.
Are the most challenging, only because you have the sun that is pointed straight in the right fielder's eyes. You could say the same for second as well as first base, too.
Yeah, but Abby knows where every blade of grass is here in Rosemont. She's played on this field probably more than anyone else. She grew up here in the Chicagoland area, played high school games here in this facility, played travel ball games here in this facility. Then she played professionally with the Chicago Bandits in this building, and now she's been a part of all 4 seasons with Athletes Unlimited. So if anyone can handle the sun, it's Abby. Nadia Taylor had an inning opening walk. Taylor Edwards popped out to the catcher. Count is 2-2. Sharp, oh, look at Flippin! Hannah Flippin earning her keep. Last year's Defensive Player of the Year, showing those wonderful hands of hers.
Really good, but to me, it's just the automatic. So good at being able to pick it, makes the throw on the money. She really is a magician. Doesn't matter where she plays. She's so good at being able to lock it up and just make the easy plays, make the hard plays.
Another chance for Flippin. Takes the short hop and makes a difficult play look routine. Sis Bates bounces out to Flippin, and the side is retired. So inning number 3 will be worth 30 points when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. Scoreless game into our third inning. That means this third inning, whoever scores more runs than the other will get 30 points. That's big. Now, one of the many cool things about Athletes Unlimited Sports is the combination of sports and art. Athletes Unlimited initiated a project to create artist portraits of all the champions throughout the sports, beginning with the inaugural softball season here in Chicago back in 2020. In each season of each sport, Athletes Unlimited selects an emerging artist in the city where they're competing to create a portrait of the champion. And the murals were unveiled earlier today. Alicia Ocasio, the 2021 softball champion. Her portrait was by Chicago-based artist Laura Collins. Taylor Moreno, who just won the AU Lacrosse Championship 2 times in a row, tip of the cap. The other softball champion, Deja Mulipola, last year's champ, her mural was painted by Chicago artist Jennifer Cronin. So great work, Jennifer Cronin, Laura Collins, local artists. Great work, Taylor Moreno, Deja Mulipola, Alicia Ocasio, Athletes Unlimited athletes. Here's Jasmine Jackson, called strike to Jazz. 3 for 7 a week ago. She is from Northern California, San Jose, wears number 24 in honor of Ricky Henderson. Great baseball player, Ricky Henderson, Oakland A. Actually, I think he played for close to all the teams in Major League Baseball is all said and done.
My brother was on the A's with him for a little bit.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be one of the greatest teammates. Fun guy. Good stories about him. A story about him getting a big bonus check and he framed it. Didn't cash it. Just put it in a frame and hung it on the wall. Yeah. Ricky being Ricky. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rachel Garcia. She walked the first batter she faced and has since retired 6 in a row. Now she's in danger of walking Jasmine Jackson.
And I like Jasmine Jackson down there in the bottom. So much speed, can turn the lineup over.
Little Lubber, Nadia Taylor, not in time. Infield single for Jasmine Jackson. That's the first hit for Team Flippin.
Well, and that's why the captain, Hannah Flippin, has Jazz down there in the 8th spot. So good at just being able to utilize her speed. Just taps it. Nadia Taylor needs to come up with a big-time play, but the speed of Jackson up the line, not going to happen.
Called strike 1 to Sydney McKinney. Rookie from Wichita State getting a start today out in right field. McKinney can handle the bat. It's her job to get Jackson to second. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball and 2 strikes. Some pitchers are easier to bunt against than others. Looks like Garcia may be one of those on the difficult side.
Yeah, bunting it's a challenging thing to do. Trying to bunt a ball that's coming at you, especially with that good rise ball spin. The way that Garcia can throw it up in the zone, it's tough.
Oh my, Garcia gets the strikeout she needed. That's the first out here in the 3rd inning. 3 strikeouts for Garcia, first time through the lineup. If you'd like to rep Athletes Unlimited with your own gear, be sure to check out the new AU softball merchandise for the season, including personalized player tees. Go to shop.auprosports.com to get yours today. Hayward takes outside. Vic picked up 18 points in the 1st inning. Walked and stole a base. Was eventually stranded at 2nd. I think actually stranded at 3rd. She made it over to 3rd and the fly ball out by Harshman.
Victoria Hayward here finds herself good hitters count, 2-0. Obviously brings a lot to that leadoff spot. Does have pop off the bat, no doubt, but can drop that bunt, has a lot of speed. Wears that #1 for a reason. She was actually the first player ever to sign with Athletes Unlimited.
Two balls and no strikes. A lot of options here for Hayward. Taking 2-1. And Vic's going back home. She's been an assistant coach at a lot of different programs across the country in recent years. And she's going to go back to her alma mater, University of Washington.
Yeah, I'm not mad about that, Eric. To hang out with Vic a little bit more. It was tough when she was at San Diego State, even though it was remarkable. That whole run, San Diego State last year, competing against Utah in the Super Regionals, and she was a part of that with Delaney Wiz and Coach Stacy Newsman, Denise.
Off with the pitch was Jackson. And there's now 2 outs as Hayward bounces out to Nadia Taylor. It's a good play by Nadia. So Jackson's now in scoring position, but there are 2 outs. And Kelsey Harshman will bat. Harshman hit the ball hard first time up. Bubba Nichols made the play on the warning track in left field. All right, silly thought, but I think Kelsey Harshman gets a significant amount of hits every year just because of her ability to go the opposite way, and the spin on the ball coming off her left-handed bat seems to always slice away from whichever outfielder's trying to get it. You get more spin on the ball when you go the opposite way from the left side than if you were just pulling it, in my opinion.
I mean, wow, look at you just teaching me a thing or two here as play-by-play, me being the analyst. Love to see it.
I've just been watching her for 4 seasons now, and the ball's always slicing away from some left fielder, and it just looks like it's a nightmare.
She's a darn good hitter. Like, she really does cover both sides of the plate really, really well. And obviously getting to be a part of the national team with her and do that Olympic run and just kind of talk shop. She's a polished hitter. She really is. You never can count out Kelsey Harshman. But I think the thing for her this year has just, at times, she's struggled because she has not been on teams that have been winning, right? So the stat points only take you so far, but winning games gets you 50 points. Winning innings get you 10 points every single inning that's won. And at times she's continued to be consistent as ever in the batter's box, but just hasn't always got to win those games.
Ball and a strike. 2 balls and a strike to Harshman. All right, so Harshman with a decent opportunity here. 3 balls and a strike. There is a base open. But Tori Vidalis is in the on-deck circle.
Sometimes it comes down to the comfort. Would you rather throw to a lefty or would you rather throw to a righty? And if you're already down in the count, you got a hitter's count with 30 inning points on the line with Jasmine Jackson at third. Sometimes it's all right. I'd rather attack that next hitter knowing that I'm going to start with a new count instead of a 3-1 against Kelsey Harshman.
So Harshman draws the walk. That's a +8 for her. And TV Tori Vidalis comes to the plate with a chip on her shoulder. She struck out her first time up and was mad at herself about it. Chased the pitch. Let's see if she's locked in. Taking, strike 1. Oh, and 2.
Well, in last at-bat, you have to remember Tori Vidalis was set up on the inner half by heavy velocity on the hands at 70 with that foul off on the curveball on the outside part of the plate to then go and climb the ladder on the inner half. And if I'm Rachel Garcia right now, I got to go back up in the zone and see if I can get her to chase, see if she's able to make that adjustment on me.
Oh my goodness, a 3-pitch strikeout. Garcia fans Vidalis. Good job of pitching there by Rachel Garcia. She pitches around Harshman and goes right at Vidalis.
I mean, it's the pitch backwards mentality. Rachel Garcia, right when you think you know you want to swing, man, that backwards K, she's been money.
Everybody wanna go and talk it. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
Somebody's gonna miss and just not. It's gonna be Piper and it's gonna be on you right now. Do. What's your favorite number?
20.
Ooh. Do you know who Kaylee Clifton is?
No.
Kaylee Clifton is number 20. Cece.
She's awesome. I got blue.
You go blue? Of course. Everybody would pick blue.
High five.
Boom.
Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
Yes, you guys look good.
Hey, KJ, I'm waiting for a high five every time, so next time me and you, we got...
Hatch went into the game with Air National Guard listening into Hannah Flippen, a captain this go around. She is from Bonita, beautiful place out in California. She was a 4-year star at Utah, 2-time Pac-12 Player of the Year, her junior and senior year. She's been playing Athletes Unlimited softball since the jump, and she's been doing it offensively and defensively day in and day out. She's wearing a microphone. We're going to talk to the captain, the great palindrome, Hannah Flippen.
Yes!
Hannah, how's your world?
My world has been rocked. Being captain has been so much fun, but it definitely adds a new challenge to the game, but I'm here for it.
You look like you're totally ready to go defensively, haven't missed a beat. We always talk about how soft your hands are. How did you develop those hands?
Oh, playing with my 3 brothers in the front yard, any chance we got, I always had a ball in my hand. So just playing sports like all year round, any kind of sport is, I think, what created these 2 masterpieces.
Hannah, I have to ask, I mean, Savannah Collins did a quick story on you with every week you're just making lineups in your head based on all these different teams. But what has it been like being able to create your own? Was it everything you've dreamed of?
Yeah, I mean, it feels the same. Like after every draft, I create a lineup for all the teams because I like to see who other people picked and what their lineup's gonna look like when we play against them. So this kind of felt like a normal week because I always like to give my input.
Hey.
You're awesome.
I love to give my input to captains, just like, hey, here's what I'm thinking, because I do love to think the game. So feels like a regular week to me.
So you're the captain. Clearly, you can make any decision you want. We've seen you play second. We've seen you play short. We've seen you play third. Are you playing short because that's your favorite spot, or is that just where your team needs you this week?
I do enjoy playing shortstop, but in the draft room, if it got down to it and I had to shift over to third or to second base, I definitely would have done that, just trying to create the strongest team possible. And I think right now we're set up in a spot to where Delaney's playing her strength, KJ's playing to hers, and Tori's playing to hers.
Flip, I have to ask, is there someone that you lean on a little bit here on your team to just kind of help you make some decisions besides your facilitator, a teammate?
Yeah, I mean, it's KJ and Vic for sure. Those are my 2 homies off the field. But I think the reason why we're such good friends off the field is because we gel so much on the softball side of things. We say, me and Vic are softball sisters. We think so much alike, and we love talking the game. So those are the two that I lean on any time of the year. If I'm struggling, even while I'm not a captain. Yeah, Jazz.
Hey, Flip, you were talking about the fact that you played everything growing up. I know you were number 19. You're San Diego native. Tony Gwynn, the Hall of Fame hitter for the San Diego Padres. Tony Gwynn played college basketball. You played high school basketball, am I correct?
You are correct. I played volleyball, basketball, and softball. And I always said, if I didn't go to college and play softball, I would have loved to go play basketball.
Amen.
I'm a little short, but I think I would have been a good point guard. I was a good passer. I had all the assists. Not much of a shooter, but yeah.
It makes softball that much better when you do play other sports, right? Like you can take your mind off. It's not just all softball. Now I feel like some of these kids, it's the pressure on them is just to do one sport, and this is a prime example. Hannah Flippen, multi-sport athlete, folks, and captain.
We're going to talk to you a whole bunch throughout the course of the weekend. Great stuff, Hannah. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
All I wanna do is win, win, win.
I'm always gonna root for me.
All I wanna do is.
I'm super competitive.
All I wanna do is win, win, win.
I would love to win.
All I wanna do is.
Rachel Garcia on the biggest stage.
I'm pretty hungry to do it again.
Got it! Grand slam for Hannah Flippen. Leah Andrews walks it up.
All I wanna do is win, win, win.
Win. I feel confident. I feel free.
Another strikeout for Odyssey.
All the hard work and sacrifice is coming to light.
Bubba Nichols saves the day.
It's truly about representing something bigger than yourself.
All I wanna do is win, win, win.
There is not an individual team champion here with Athletes Unlimited. It's an individual champion. Right now, Odyssey Alexander in the driver's seat. She is #1 on the leaderboard with a weekend remaining. But still with a puncher's chance, Danielle Gibson, Hannah Flippen, Alyssa Denham, Bubba Nichols. Those are your top 5. You never know what's going to happen, particularly with a pitcher in the top spot. You can go backwards. That's a pitcher. That's an issue. Top of the 4th inning. It is a scoreless game. This inning will be worth 40 points for whichever team wins it. Mia Davidson, Hannah Flippen, Delaney Wiz batting against Rachel Garcia. Davidson doesn't flinch much. That ball comes inside, and she doesn't give any ground.
Well, and I know you know this, but she leads the league in hit by pitches. She actually set the record.
Yeah, 8.
Yeah, 2023. 8 hit by pitches.
You get 8 points, but she's got 64 points just because she doesn't flinch.
Ouch. Especially with her getting on the dish, too. She does stand on top of that plate a little bit, and Rachel Garcia is fearless on the inner half with that backdoor curveball. She means business on the hands.
She get hit? Oh my goodness. She gets hit for the 9th time. That ball may have just, I don't even know if it, I think it hit a couple hairs. Barely grazed her. No worse for the wear. Look at this. Where did she get hit? Oh, man.
Hey, we're dangling, though.
I don't know about all that. That's a tough way for Rachel Garcia to give up a base runner. But she did get hit. I'm not sure if she felt it. But you got a runner on at first base, nobody out, and the captain, Hannah Flippen, took a couple choppy steps in that batter's box. Maybe thinking about the old butcher boy, faking the bunt and swinging away.
Well, a lot on the line. I mean, heading into the 4th inning with no runs, it's 40 points. That's a lot. And these women know that. And Rachel Garcia calling time here, just taking a second. But as the innings continue to go down, obviously not scoring makes it a little bit more pressure-filled every inning.
Hannah Flippen asking for the count. Way out in front, hit that hard, but it was fouled from the jump.
82.8. Alexa Gulo to the left side, no big deal. With 72 velocity on the hands. Oof.
Ball and 2 strikes. Little number, foul. Nadia Taylor's looks spry down the third base line today.
She turns the swagger on a little bit when she's
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like my favorite thing about her. And she's wicked funny, so that's why she's high on my list as well.
Ball and 2 strikes to Flippen. Flippen last week had 5 hits in 3 games. 2 homers and a double.
That's back-to-back off-speed pitches by Garcia. First one 62, that last one 56.
Again, way out in front of Garcia's offering.
Well, and her taking a little bit off those last 2 and now climbing the ladder up and in really can open up that outside part of the plate with that curveball for Rachel Garcia. Whether or not she does it, but every pitch you throw is a setup pitch for something else. And now it comes down to location. And that's a good spot at a 1-2 count. You do not want to put the ball any closer on the plate, especially with Hannah Flippen's ability to be able to hit the ball to right side. She's a confident hitter. She can just poke her bat, hit it through the right side. I like that spot.
Oh my goodness! The Bugs Bunny changeup. Hannah could have swung twice before that thing made it to the plate.
I mean, the amount of variations that Hannah Flippen had to see in this at-bat, from 62 to 70 to 56 to 59. That's hard as a hitter, and that's stepping up in a big moment. Rachel Garcia, love to see it.
Here's Delaney Wiz next in line. She starts with a strike. All Bruins matchup here. Wiz against Garcia. Delaney out on a humpback liner back in the 2nd inning. Just like Flippen before her, she had 2 homers last week. And now she's down in the count 0-2. It seems as if Rachel Garcia is the type of pitcher, leadoff walk, leadoff hit batter, then she locks in.
I told you, she's going to be a different beast entering week 5.
Gamer.
Yeah.
Hammered down the left field line, foul, and Nichols can't make the play. Great effort.
All-out effort. Bubba Nichols, so close. But I think the one thing that's impressed me the most with Rachel Garcia since the hit by pitch to Davidson it's been back-to-back 0-2 counts on these hitters, like getting dialed in, like you said, hitting good spots. And she tends to be a pitcher in this league that throws more pitches than anyone else, that's for sure. But I think at times what can set her apart is that she can throw big pitches in big counts and come away on the side of being victorious. And that, at times, is the definition of a competitor in my eyes, right? Like, it's not always about spin rate. It's not always about certain things that people look at, but it's that when the pressure's on and the moment's big, it's like, can I control my heart rate? Can I dial it in? And can I execute and throw a big pitch? And to me, she's always calm, composed. She's a bulldog out there.
2-2. .40 points hanging in the balance this inning. 3-2. Rachel stared in a little longer than normal. Was hoping to get the benefit of the doubt. Counts now 3-2. Let's see if that affects Mia Davidson on at first. Not running. Called strike 3. Another strikeout for Rachel Garcia.
And when you have 2 strikes, this is a pitch you cannot leave. That is a strike all day, 69 miles an hour spinning on the outer half. You see Delaney whiz on her toes a little bit. Garcia ate her up on the outside corner. Pretty pitch location. It's back-to-back strikeouts.
6 strikeouts for Garcia, 3 swinging, 3 looking. Here's Lily Piper. Bounced out to short back in the 2nd inning. Piper's got pop. 2 homers on the year. Off the thumbs. Caught by Nadia Taylor, side retired. So the leadoff hit batter does not affect Rachel Garcia. She puts another 0 on the board. We're halfway through this one. 0-0.
To be there.
That's right. We are fans too.
Like Mike, if I could be like Mike.
You want to be like the greats? First, believe you are. Greatness requires drip, not like that, like this. The greats aren't afraid to fail. They're fueled by it. Trophies require greatness, but greatness doesn't require trophies. Because greatness isn't about what you've done, it's about what you do next.
There's one piece of hitting advice from Danielle Gibson. What would it be?
I think it goes back to just make your presence known. So if someone can feel my presence and a pitcher can understand that, like, okay, this girl can hit, and then my next at bat, she thinks, oh my gosh, Danielle Gibson is up again. Like that is that's why I hit. It's like home runs are fun, hard line drives are fun, but being able for a pitcher to feel your presence is ideal. And so I can't go in and be really mean. That's not really my intentions and not my personality to just be like, oh, I hate you, I hate the pitcher, because most of these girls are my friends. And so I think that for me, if I go in and make my presence known, and I go in and I make sure that the defense knows that I'm the hardest out, if the pitcher knows that I'm not going to swing at anything crazy, that I'm going to put a barrel on everything, and the catcher has no idea what to throw me, I mean, that is ideal for me, is making sure everyone knows who I am on the field and that I'm a good softball player. So.
Danielle Gibson has made her presence known, particularly over the last 2 weeks. Look at week 3 and week 4.
Wow. She is a beast. She obviously was at Arkansas, and now she's back at her alma mater as the hitting coach. Pretty special and unique that she's going to get back there with Courtney Deifel and help impact that program differently. I'm telling you, it hits different when you get to be an assistant coach where you played, and that was your dream school, and you loved that. So now for her to be able to be back there and be a part of it, it's going to be pretty fun to watch.
Danielle Gibson, Rachel Garcia, Nadia Taylor batting against Megan Faremo with 40 points on the line. Winner of this inning gets 40 points. Taking all the way. Ball and 2 strikes. Kind of surprised she took that pitch. Gibson first time up. Line drive single to right field. She's got 15 hits in 35 at-bats this year. Depending on what she does this weekend, she's got an outside shot of finishing with a .500 batting average against the best pitchers in the world. It's been done once before. Jessie Warren. Jessie Warren was a .510 batter. Oh my goodness, look at Faremo. Strikes out Gibson. Gibson left the bat on her shoulder. That's a big out, number 1. All right, joining us now, very special. We're get Sarah Spain with us. How about this? She's been everywhere over the last couple of days. There was a very special innovation summit here in Rosemont over the last couple of days. She was a big part of it. Sarah Spain, of course, been with ESPN forever and a native Illinois. Are you from Chicago, Sarah?
Technically born in Cleveland, but we moved to Illinois so fast that I just count myself as...
Well, welcome back home. Yeah. Good to see you here.
Thank you.
What's going on in your world these days?
I just got back from Australia and New Zealand and the Women's World Cup, and now I'm sitting in a lifeguard chair in the sun, almost getting hit by foul balls, so life is good.
Sarah, I have to ask about that Innovation Summit. Was there anything that kind of stood out to you over the 2 days that it was going on?
You know what? I think I just love that the general vibe is this combination of inspiration and infuriation. It's like we're inspired, so much is getting better, everything's amazing about women's sports, but also we're kind of infuriated that some stuff is still taking so long.
Yeah.
And we did actually talk a lot about you know, tech and AI and innovations and stats and advanced stats and how we can just keep getting women's sports to the caliber that they need to be to have good discussions and debates and for the athletes to be informed and, you know, all the stuff we love about sports.
Well, Sarah, obviously Athletes Unlimited has been very pivotal in what the sporting world is pivoting towards in recent years. Your thoughts when Athletes Unlimited first started 4 years ago, the format and how it's gone on so far, in your opinion?
Well, you know, I think the older you get, the more you fear change. So you're like, wait, what's this scoring system? What do you mean the players change teams? But then as a former athlete, within seconds, I was like, wait a minute. So I would either have the opportunity to be on a team with someone that I was disappointed I hadn't gotten to play with, and or have to swallow my pride and go partner up with someone right after I talked enormous amounts of smack. So I thought it would make me a better person, for sure, than I am normally, to have to go team up with someone shortly after my competitive side came out. So I actually think the format is so smart. And once people are on board, especially now that there are so many young people that really attach to athletes as opposed to regions or teams and follow that athlete around, once you learn it and buy in, it's such a cool format.
Is there a certain athlete that you'd be rooting for this week in week 5? Has anyone stood out to you?
You know, there's like I used to be into the hitters, but this season the pitching has been so good that I'm like waiting for that breakthrough person who can break these pitchers, and I haven't seen it. I mean, look at the score today. And so now I'm starting to think I chose the wrong horses. I need to get on board with these pitchers instead. Everyone likes the long ball, everyone likes the hitters, but now I'm like, these pitchers are unstoppable. Look at that.
There you go. Faremo strikes out Rachel Garcia. All right, Sarah, you mentioned the fact that you're from Illinois. Chicago, over the years, actually, in my opinion, someone who lived in Chicago for many years, has been at the forefront of women's sports. You've had the Chicago Bandits, National Pro Fast Pitch, professional softball for so many years, lived here, somewhere in the Chicagoland area. You got the Chicago Sky. Yep. You got the Red Stars, soccer-wise.
Yep.
But it's not like this way everywhere else in the world. But at least in Chicago, it seems as if women's sports has been progressing to a certain extent.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a Chicago gal who grew up playing every sport possible, I think that the Midwest is just a hotbed for participation and also for like deep passion about it, because when it's cold, when it's, you know, snowing and everything else, you've got your sports to lean on. You got your crazies that will show up at Chicago Bears games in a snowstorm, and we're diehards. So I love that AU comes here, and I love getting to know the players, like just, you know, folks like Sam Fisher who are hilarious, athletes that come here and get to know the area and you know, rave about it when they go back wherever they're from. I like being the hotbed for it. It's also easy for me to make this little half-hour trip in from the city and come to games and cheer them on, as opposed to having to, you know, fly across the country.
Well, Sarah, thank you for everything that you've been involved with the last couple of days. I know you were kind of the a main cog with this Innovation Summit, and yeah, thank you for your support and just wonderful stuff that you do. Keep on keeping on.
Thanks for having me on. I think I might sit in the chair for a while. I'm getting a very even tan. It was winter in Australia, so, you know.
How many weeks were you over there for? Were you there the entire thing?
2 weeks. Just 2 weeks, yeah.
That's a long time, though.
Jet lag is still, I had a couple cups of coffee today, but I'm headed over to that sports bra pop-up, and we'll see what other kind of liquids I can put in to keep me awake.
That sounds like a Chicagoan to me. I approve. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Nadia Taylor, and the count goes full to Nadia. Megan Framo's done a good job of getting Gibson and Garcia to strike out, but now doesn't want to let down her guard against Nadia Taylor. Off the end of the bat, shallow center field, and the ball drops. That'll be a base hit for Nadia Taylor and a 2-out base runner for Team Gibson.
Well, this is just right in the Bermuda Triangle here of McKinney, Hayward, and Harshman, and it just finds a hole. To me, I thought Vic Hayward was going to take it. She was running in all the way. Finds a little bit of green.
So that base hit by Nadia Taylor snaps a streak of 9 in a row retired by Faremo. Nadia Taylor walked in the second inning. After that walk, 9 in a row retired before the Nadia Taylor base hit. Here's Taylor Edwards. She popped out to the catcher her first time up. Taylor Edwards actually one of 3 players on Team Gibson. Daniel Gibson's from Murrieta, California. 3 players from Murrieta, California. You got Taylor Edwards, you got Sierra Romero, and you got Danielle Gibson. All for the same hometown, playing professionally here in Chicago. How's that possible?
Well, and you could link up Sid Romero.
Yeah, technically we have 4 players out of 60 from the same hometown. Oh, Delaney Wiz. That is how you pick it. At third base, she's been an absolute vacuum cleaner. Delaney Wiz retires Edwards, and the side is retired. The 5th inning's going to be worth a half 100.
Well, Rachel Garcia has been stepping it up today. She has been phenomenal. She's climbed that ladder with that rise ball, has that curve ball. And I think to me, it's just been pulling the string with that changeup. She's had multiple different velos to these hitters in certain situations. And when there's been a little bit of pressure, I think to me, she's really rose to the occasion.
4 innings, shutout ball. That's 12 outs, 12 times 4. 4 points for every out recorded by a pitcher. She is a plus 48 just in the circle today. And she's moving on up. Began today in the 8th spot on the leaderboard. She is currently tied for the 6th spot with Aaliyah Andrews. And oh, by the way, this inning is worth 50 points.
Half 100.
Biddy.
No.
Biddy.
Yeah, last weekend to gain points and see where you are at on the leaderboard when it's all said and done. And I mean, you cannot say enough about the medals for me. Like just checking out Moreno back-to-back lacrosse championships, was wearing both her medals when she was getting the painting on the field. I mean, those
pretty cool
in the palm of the hand, they're ginormous. There she is out there in the players lounge.
Jasmine Jackson flips it foul. It'll be 8-9-1 in the order for Team Flippin'. Jackson, Sydney McKinney, and Victoria Hayward.
Kind of the perfect person right here. Jasmine Jackson had a base hit her last AB, but down in that 8th spot for a reason. That triple threat type hitter. Puts that good pressure on the defense, solid eye at the plate.
You know, one of the reasons the pitching has been so good this year is it seems as if the captains have done a really good job of managing bullpens. To that end, even though Garcia's working on a gem, just in case, Alicia Ocasio starting to get loose down in that bullpen. Now it's now full 3-2. Garcia, at the end of this inning, will have gone through the order twice. And if she doesn't want to go through the inning for the 3rd time, or through the lineup for a 3rd time, that's why you got Ocasio getting loose. What a beautiful pitch. 70 miles per hour. Jackson can't pull the trigger. 1 down. Well, here's our last Fantasy Pick'em update. This week's leaderboard champion was Team Filter. I'm sorry, Team Flitter. If you missed out on this season's Fantasy Pick'em play, don't worry. You can compete this fall during our volleyball season to win big. Sign up at auprosports.com/fantasy. That's hitting them where they ain't. Good job by Sydney McKinney. Just served that into left field for a 1-out base hit.
That was a tongue twister, that one over there. Didn't know if you were
Team Flitter.
Didn't know if you were going to get that out. Really good job by McKinney. Just knocks it right over Nadia Taylor's head and puts the top of the lineup in a good pressure cooker situation here. 50 inning points on the line. Sydney McKinney, a ton of speed, and the vet, Victoria Hayward, up to the plate. This is a perfect storm type situation here for Team Flippin'. But on the flip side, no pun intended, Rachel Garcia has been throwing great when there is pressure on. She's somebody
Is this a bunting situation for Victoria Hayward?
I don't think so. I think she uses the tools in her toolbox. I don't think I sacrifice myself here. Whether or not she does a sneaky, I think she does a sneaky for a base hit, but I don't think she's stepping into the box right now with the intention of sacrificing herself to get 2 outs on the board.
A successful sacrifice is worth 10. A walk is worth 8. 2-0 to Hayward.
You see Nadia Taylor, I mean, at 3rd base, doesn't fear anything. Especially with, to me, what's jumped out a lot has been the exit velocity on a lot of these hitters. There is a ton of pop off the bat. Nadia Taylor is playing way in front of the bag, knowing that some of them are triple threats. She does not want to get beat the ball down in front.
Little number. Everyone's going to be safe. Once that ball passed Nadia Taylor, that was going to be an infield single for Victoria Hayward.
It's a really good job here by Vic. Sneaks right by Nadia Taylor, and a lot of speed up the line. The little fake throw by Sis Bates, seeing if she can bait McKinney. An opportunity here for Team Flippin'. Runners on, first and second, 50 points on the line.
The dangerous Kelsey Harshman. Called strike one. Harshman lined into an out back in the first inning. Just twisted Bubba Nichols around, but Nichols able to make the play on the warning track in left. She walked on 5 pitches in the third. High drive down the left field line. Nichols has got a beat on it. Foul territory. That's 2 down. Oh, Nichols, man. Someone taught her well. Beautiful throw into third to keep the runners where they are. 2 down. You'd have a hard time finding something that Bubba Nichols does not do well in the game of softball. Opportunity for Tori Vidalis, who's frustrated right now. She struck out twice against Garcia. One of the most confident professional hitters in the world today. Tori Vidalis, 2 strikeouts, which only means that she's due. Inning points on the line.
Quick 0-2 here for Rachel Garcia, and now is when she can try to toy with a hitter like Tori Vidalis, who may be in her head with a couple tough strikeouts back to back, but that's because Rachel Garcia has almost pitched her backwards a little bit and has gotten in her dome and finds herself 0-2. Rachel Garcia shaking.
It's getting late here. 5th inning, scoreless game, pivotal part of the game. It's been the type of game where you can imagine that the first mistake is going to cost someone a game. We've had a combined 5 hits. Only once as a runner made it to the third. That was way back in the first inning. 2-2 to Vidalis.
Does she pull the string here? I think she does. No sense, man. I would go off speed, but just you saw the strikeout on Hannah Flippin, the command of that pitch.
Oof, just missed inside. Did not go the change of pace. And the count's full 3-2.
Oh, I go 3-2 change piece. Goes with the backdoor curveball. A little too much on the hands there of Vidalis. Quick timeout here from Taylor Edwards to just go out and talk shop, figure out what it is you want to throw. The captain, Danielle Gibson, comes on over as well.
Well, with 3 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs, there's no reason for McKinney or Hayward to stay where they are. They're going to be off.
This is a big-time pitch. When you think about it, with 50 inning points on the line, Vidalis, but you put her on, you put Mia Davidson in a situation to step in the box and do some damage too. So that communication in the moment of what do you want to throw here is so important. This is a big-time pitch.
Biggest pitch of the ball game.
Whew, I take my breath.
That pitch was so big, we're going to do it twice.
That pitch, 72.9 miles an hour, going on the 8th pitch of this at-bat. Completely different AB here for Tori Vidalis. She's someone that is not going to go down looking again. And that's what it's about. It's just straight up battling.
Can't be comfortable for Garcia. She's continually looking into the sun while Vidalis is bathed in shadows.
I climb the ladder. At 3-2, most people would call me crazy, but I go rise ball underneath the hands.
What an at-bat by Vidalis. Started 0-2 after striking out in the first and the third inning against Garcia. She'll now face a minimum of 10 pitches against Garcia. 6 times this plate appearance, Tori Vidalis has fouled off a pitch from Garcia.
I'm going out on a limb. I think she's going to throw her off-speed curve drop on the outer half.
Off speed.
Oh. But it wasn't the off-speed curve. I still think it's coming.
7 foul balls. She's gonna get a bill. Gonna get a paycheck docked.
Or since she's just owned the inner half here, going up, going change up. I wouldn't be surprised you see that curveball by Rachel Garcia.
I'll tell you what, McKinney and Hayward, they're going to be flat on their backs when this is all said and done. They're gassed. They've been doing sprints every single pitch they've been off, and they keep having to go back to their original bases. 8 foul balls. This plate appearance by Vidalis. 9 foul balls.
Such a good at-bat. Rachel Garcia going on her 100th pitch of the day, and I thought it was not going to take this many pitches, I'll tell you that much. Vidalis, love to see it.
Oh my! Tori Vidalis is locked in. Can't get anything fair, but can't get anything past her. And that smile, which is usually permanent on her face, is all gone. She is in her office right now, doing work.
I gotta go away. I gotta go with something on the outer half. Just living on the inner half.
Oh my goodness. Rachel Garcia leads the league in walks allowed by a wide margin. She has thrown consistent strike after strike after strike, refusing to bend to the will of Tori Vidalis.
Hey, her off-speed curve. Let's go back to
Okay.
that. That was probably what I would have thrown at pitch 10. But I'm saying, I've seen her change speeds. She's really continued to pepper the inner half to Tori Vidalis. But if she could get that pitch away and hit a good spot, I think it could help her.
On the ground,
There it is.
scooped up by Romero, sides retired. The
There
pitch
it
that
is.
you were asking for got out number 3, Danielle.
There it is. Come, babe. Let's go.
What a battle. What a game.
Oh! Let's go like this, and it went over her head. She was like, she's sardine. She's sardine. I need to make sure I'm disciplined on the inside because, yeah. Well, the outside, I thought the first one was out. I think that's the furthest that it will be out for called. Do I look weird in these sunglasses? You look like a model. Really?
Yours fogging up. Mine are
A little bit fogging. I know, I'm like, I need to stop sweating. Hey, we need little wipers.
Well, she has been a fantastic teammate, any team she's been on for the 4 years she's played with Athletes Unlimited. Chicago's own Abby Ramirez coming on late in this her 4th pro season here at Athletes Unlimited. Didn't play much first couple of weeks. Given an opportunity, she has ran with the opportunity. And now she will lead off this 50-point 5th inning. We always talk about these women as role models. Abby is a role model on like 8 different levels. Local kid, smaller player, who just gets it, who just understands how to play the game of softball. She is aboard with a little half-hearted hit to left field. That's how you do it.
This pitch is just up. She doesn't even finish her swing. It just kind of tips off and finds some green. That's what it's all about. It's a base hit in the books.
So Megan Faremo gonna have to work around a leadoff base hit. Here's Sis Bates, shows bunt early.
If you're wondering if I would sack now, I would.
You would, yes.
With
Number
none
9
outs.
hitter with Sis Bates.
With Sis Bates and how good she is, and knowing the importance of getting Ramirez to second, I would drop a bunt.
Is there any count that Sis could have that would change your thought on that? It's 2-0. Maybe Faremo's going to groove one. Do you ever let her swing away and get a chance for an extra base hit?
Well, the beauty of AAU is that they get to sometimes make their own decisions.
That's a foul ball. That's a foul ball. Home plate umpires immediately raising both hands, saying ball is foul. It's 2-1.
Davidson all the way, going to second base, does not stop until the umpire says foul ball.
Oh, delayed call, 2-2. Faremo's been effective, but she hasn't been dominant. She only has 1 strikeout through the first 17 batters she's faced. That is fair! Down the left field line, Ramirez has to stop at second. Back-to-back bloop base hits to begin our 5th inning for Team Gibson.
Kind of feels like a little bit of a deja vu from Abby Ramirez's hit. Straight to the left side. Finds a way to hit a little green.
So the bottom 2 in the order for Team Gibson, both with base hits to set the table here in this 50-point inning. Athletes Unlimited and Topps have unveiled the first ever set of player trading cards that feature all 4 Athletes Unlimited sports combined in one set. The 200-card set features 185 athletes from the 2022 seasons. It's available at Target, Barnes & Noble, hobby shops, and through Topps.com and Fanatics.com. They're everywhere, so get your set today. Here's Bubba Nichols. She won't be bunting. Takes a called strike.
Hey, never say never.
Hey, you're right. It would be in her best interest and the team's best interest. You get 10 points for a successful sacrifice. 2 runners in scoring position. You need to win the inning. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Bubba does have a hitting streak on the line, though. Bubba 0 for 2 so far today. She's got a 10-game hit streak. That is best in the league. It's on the line right now. 2-1. High down the right field line, Jacobson runs out of room. Apologize, that's Sydney McKinney down the right field line. Here's a live look at your leaderboard. Bubba Nichols currently on the outside looking in of the top 4. But something significant here would change your prospects dramatically. 3-2.
Ooh.
Popped up. That'll make it into the seats. Team flipping, they threatened top half of this 5th inning. Runners on at first and at second with 1 out. Could not score. Now Team Gibson first and second, nobody out. Here's a 3-2.
Just gonna pull the string here. It's just a hunch.
Does Faremo have as much confidence in her changeup as Rachel Garcia does?
In this league, yes. It's the most I've ever seen Megan Faremo throw that pitch.
There it is, number. Everyone's gonna be safe. Can't hit it any softer, and Bubba Nichols has a base hit. The hitting streak continues. An 11-game hitting streak for Bubba Nichols, courtesy of about a 12-footer.
And this is just a cue ball, literally off the end of the bat. So much spin. Mia Davidson going at it full force, so Faremo kind of gets out of the way, but no one ends up going and grabbing that. They find themselves a little bit of a pickle here. Bases loaded with kind of murderer's row, in my opinion, of Megan Wiggins, Sierra Romero, and Danielle Gibson.
Tough inning for Faremo. Death by mosquito bites. She gave up the half-swing single to Abby Ramirez. Sis Bates with a bloop single to left field. And then Bubba Nichols swinging a rolled-up newspaper to get that ball about 10 feet in front of home plate. Bases loaded, nobody out for Megan Wiggins. 0-1 to Wiggins. Best to ever come out of Winder, Georgia. Plays at the plate, it's gotta be.
Good job by Davidson, keeping that up in front.
So beautiful.
Infield's in all the way around. Faremo dreaming about a strikeout. 1-2. Faremo struck out Gibson and Garcia back-to-back to begin our 4th inning. Right now, probably never happened, but if there's a foul ball deep in the outfield, you got to drop it. This is 50 points on the line. Two and two.
Davidson working, trying to get that pitch.
3-2. This is it. This could be a 50-point pitch. If Faraimo can't throw a strike, it's 50 points for everyone on Team Gibson. Oh! It's an inning win. 5 of them for Team Gibson. The bases loaded walk. One 0 lead, Team Gibson. That is massive.
And good lights by Megan Wiggins. Do I want that for the pitcher? Yes. Do I think that it's a ball? Yes. Pressure cooker of a moment there for Megan Faraimo. It does not get any easier here with Sierra Romero, Danielle Gibson, Rachel Garcia.
Well, remember the captain is Hannah Flippen. She's the shortstop. She's watching all of this happen. She's making the decisions if she wants to go to the pen or how she's going to play this. Hannah Flippen is right in the midst of things. She came in today 3rd on the leaderboard. These are super important points. She leaves Faraimo in to face Sierra Romero. Infield has moved back just a breath now. They don't have to come home if they don't want to. For some reason, as there's double play in the middle of the field, I guess you could go for that. The inning has already been lost. Now you don't want to have a huge crooked number of an inning allowed. One and 2 to Romero.
Well, and it all started with Abby Ramirez and her at bat, finding some green to the left side, passing that momentum on to Sis Bates. Bubba Nichols with a little cue ball off the changeup, and then the walk by Megan Wiggins.
So what an interesting 5th inning this has been. Rachel Garcia was in hot water at the top of the 5th, but was able to get out of it unscathed after a 13-pitch at bat to Tori Vidalis. 15, I'm sorry. 15-pitch at bat to Tori Vidalis. And now here in the bottom of the 5th inning, such an unusual start to the inning with dinks and doinks, and then the bases loaded walk. There's your first out. Romero strikes out.
Just painting corners. Curveball on the outer half gets that big swing and miss by Sierra Romero.
This is dangerous. You got the captain, Danielle Gibson, batting. Gibson's 3rd look at Faraimo. Line drive single in the 1st inning. Struck out looking in the 4th.
I'm surprised that they haven't made a pitching change yet, honestly, after kind of the back-to-back Sis Bates Ramirez.
Yeah, the pitching options this week for Team Flippen is Carrie Eberly, Mariah Masson, and Micah Sutherland.
I'd be bringing in Masson. And she was warming up in the pen. If you're wondering, that was go Gadget Eyes over there.
Two and 1. How disciplined is Danielle Gibson? One of the hottest hitters in the world today. She had a 2-0 count with the bases loaded. Chance to really do some damage. And she just takes some confidence. That's Sutherland actually getting loose.
But Masson was out there.
Okay, all right. Oh my goodness, got her to chase. 2 and 2.
You don't usually get swings and misses like that from Danielle Gibson. Crossed up a little bit on the outer half.
There's a confident swing.
Is her family?
I can tell which one's her sister.
And her mom.
Opposite way, base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Nichols. She'll score. It's a 2-run single for Danielle Gibson. That is the first ball hit well this inning, and it drives in a pair.
Well, and this is just the sequencing. It's just back-to-back balls, and then Megan Framo has to work. She goes on the outside corner, gets that strike, gets that big uncharacteristic swing and miss. The foul ball by Gibby on the outer half, and then there's a pitch that she's able to just barrel up, hits it to the opposite field so well. Just really confident swing through the zone. Family loves it. Team Gibson in the house. Mom, dad, sister, husband.
Leads the league now with 14 runs batted in. This is her 13th game played. It's one of the reasons why she's a captain and began the day second on the leaderboard. She has been clutch. So we're going to have a pitching change. Mariah Masson, number 60, will place Megan Framo, number 80. So Danielle, Lori, you were right. While we have a moment to talk a little bit more about Danielle Gibson, let's check in with Savannah.
Well, Eric, you mentioned it earlier, how there are 3 athletes on Team Gibson from Murrieta, California: Danielle, Sierra Romero, and Taylor Edwards. And I asked Gibby, was that a part of the draft plan? She laughed and said no. And she didn't know them growing up, but she used to go to Sierra and Taylor Edwards high school games to watch them and was just in awe. She said that was the thing to go to when she was young, to get to see them compete. And now she's their captain on the Orange team.
That's great stuff. Talk about just role models when you're a kid. Oh, geez. You can see excellence when you're 10 years old. If you're watching Taylor Edwards, who doesn't get any better than that. Sierra Romero was an All-American in high school, All-American as a college player. And now the captain telling those players what to do is Danielle Gibson.
Her presence is known.
Yeah, a very good reference.
She just is. She's unbelievable. She's always smiling, looking like she's having fun, but can amp it up when she needs to. And she's just taking this captain's job pretty good here. And to me, she could be a candidate for a potential MVP in this game. She's a couple base hits. She's been doing well.
Well, Hannah Flippen is captain for the first time this year. She bucked the trend that we'd seen all season long of earlier rather than later pitching changes. She decided to have Framo go through the lineup for a 3rd time, and it comes back to haunt her. Already 3 runs scored for Team Gibson, still just 1 out here in her 5th inning. All right, so Mariah Masson, who has been a revelation, she has been magnificent. She comes out of the pen to face Rachel Garcia. Garcia's in line for a possible MVP, 1, 2, or 3. Lot could ride on this at bat. High drive, there it goes! 3-run homer! Rachel Garcia, how do you do? Well, no longer any doubt about those MVP votes for Rachel Garcia. A 5-inning shutout and a kill shot 3-run home run. Nobody does it better, at least from a two-way standpoint.
Well, what did I tell you? I said Rachel Garcia is going to make one heck of a push heading into week 5, knowing she's not at the top of the leaderboard. But this is a pitch that is just elevated nose right out of the gate, cracks a little smile, something you don't see a whole lot of from Rachel Garcia on the field. She's always stone cold in the best way. 80 miles an hour off that bat, 270 feet. You gotta dig a two-way player and how you can really help the cause. But I think what stands out to me the most was Danielle Gibson's hands went directly up in the air when that ball came off. Like, just the full support for your teammates, for your homies. Love to see it.
In the last 5 minutes, Rachel Garcia has added 90 points to her total. Her team is going to win this 5th inning. They already have. That's a plus 50 for everyone on the team. And then the homer by Garcia is a plus 40. She's currently in the 5th spot. That doesn't take into effect the inning win, I don't believe. So it's going to be an extra 50 when this inning is over. So Garcia currently 5th, but not for much longer. And there's just no possible way, unless everything flies out the window, that Garcia is not going to be MVP 1. She's MVP 1.
Yeah, she is.
A homer with 5 shutout innings.
Yeah.
Wow. Rachel Garcia still got a puncher's chance. I'm telling you, if she has a game like this tomorrow and a game like this on Sunday, it would be really cool to do the math.
Hey, I said it. And you kind of looked at me like, I don't know. And then now all of a sudden you're jumping on the bandwagon because you know two-way players can do some damage.
Nadia Taylor bounces out to TV Tori Vidalis. But what's interesting, though, is because now that Garcia is no longer a captain, she can't pick when she's going to pitch or hit the rest of the way. All right, Rachel Garcia standing by with Savannah.
Thanks, Eric. He actually just brought up a great point. Not being a captain, you can't get to pick when you pitch or hit. But how good does it feel to know that you have installed so much confidence as yourself and a hitter in this league to be in the lineup and then get to show up in big moments?
Yeah, I think it's definitely just my teammates surrounding me. Definitely Gibby as a captain, Faith as a facilitator, just knowing that like every at bat, like everyone's making those adjustments and like we're just one swing close. So I think just as we were making adjustments every at bat.
It's week 5. It's the last push to climb that leaderboard. Are you feeling any of that pressure, or are you leaning into this is my chance to compete here in these last 3 games?
Yeah, just to compete in these last 3 games.
And I know you kind of gave me a little bit of a hint. Were you hunting anything in that at bat, or what was your mindset stepping in?
Definitely committing to the outside pitch. Like all game, I'm like yes, 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 and then I take it, and then I'm like, all right, this next at bat. I told Nadia right before that at bat, I was like, I'm committing to the outside pitch. First pitch I see outside, I'm going for it.
Thanks, Rachel. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Rachel Garcia leads the league in strikeouts as a pitcher and leads the league in homers as a batter. What a rare talent. On the ground softly, the captain Flippin throws out Taylor Edwards. But Team Gibson, they bat around. They send 9 to the plate and 6 end up scoring.
One of the best two-way players here at Athletes Unlimited, potentially in the world. Rachel Garcia does it again. Wow, big time, 50 points for Team Gibby.
Well, the worm has turned. Team Gibson, they put a half 100 on the board. 50 points for winning that 5th inning with a 6 spot. 3-run home run by Rachel Garcia was the huge difference maker. And now Rachel Garcia is going to chill for a bit. We're going to have a new pitcher. Well, experience the action of AU softball in person right here in Rosemont, Illinois. Join us tomorrow for Champions Week at 2:30 and 5 Central. Be one of the first 250 fans in the park to get an exclusive Athletes Unlimited and Sports Bra Stadium Cup giveaway. Get your tickets now at auprosports.com/tickets. just so everyone knows, there is a bar out in Portland, Oregon called the Sports Bra. That's why we were mentioning that when I read that. It's actually pretty cool. I'm going to go there next time I'm in Portland.
Am I going to meet you there? Or?
Seattle's pretty close to Portland.
Yeah,
I think you should.
It's just a 3.5 hour drive. It's fine. I'll see you there.
All right, so we got Alicia Ocasio coming in and replacing Rachel Garcia for this 6th inning.
I like this change here. Obviously, quite a difference between Alicia Ocasio, Rachel Garcia. Ocasio definitely throws that off speed at all counts.
Little number off the bat of Mia Davidson, 0-1. All right, we're going to have a chair chat with the star of stars so far this afternoon, Rachel Garcia, getting a chance to chill a little bit after what she did in that 5th inning, which was really cool. She continued to shut out through the 5th inning and then hit a 3-run home run to extend the lead. Rachel, that was a really cool 5th inning for you.
Yes, it was. I think just all the emotions that started with Abby getting on, I think just started that entire bombshell of hits and walks and anything we could do to get on.
Can you take me through, like, you're definitely a player that when you're out there, especially in the circle, like, fearless face mentality, right? Like, you're not smiling a lot, which is the bulldog mentality, but when you hit that ball, you knew it, and it was just instant, like, big old smile on your face. But, like, take me through what the emotions of doing something like that is. Like, getting to be a two-way player and know I can help myself out in the circle, but more importantly, I can step in the box and help the cause. That was a big deal, dude.
Yeah, I knew from the start, I was like, everything's going to be outside, and I just have to commit to it. And, like, actually going into that at-bat, I went up to Nadia, and I was like, I'm just going to commit to the outside pitch. Like, if I see it, I'm just swinging. So, like, she just, like, go for it. So, like, just I think, like, having those conversations with your teammates and then just them being able to buy into you, I think gives you all that confidence, and just being able to be the two-way player, especially on the mound. Like, Gibby coming up to me after every single out, Nadia coming up to me every single out, Sis continuously talking to me, and same with Romo, just like having those conversations with your teammates. It doesn't have to be very intimate, but like just like you got it, like it gives you all the confidence in the world.
And then that pressure cooker AB against Vidalis. I mean, back-to-back strikeouts, one swinging, one looking, and then she steps in and she has a 15-pitch at bat. What's going on in your mind? Like, do you ever get to the point where it's like a slight frustration of like, what the heck do I throw here? I know Edwards came out twice and you guys talked about it.
Yeah, there's some slight frustrations, but you know, I think just being able to have those conversations, like have the time out just to talk about it. Like I was committing to Taylor and I was following her. If I didn't like something, like she knew immediately what next pitch I wanted to throw. So like just being able to talk through that, even though it was such a great at bat by Tori, it like just being able to have that communication there, I think was huge, and to commit to Taylor, even if it was a changeup that I don't like throwing, like I was committing to it.
Rachel, you lead the league in walks allowed. You somehow threw strike after strike after strike after strike when it mattered most. Was there ever any doubt in your mind that you couldn't hit the mitt whenever you wanted to?
No doubt. I just was putting all my trust in Taylor and my defense. I knew it just from the start of the game, I knew that the defense behind me was going to be huge.
Well, congratulations. Wonderful performance. You gave yourself a chance this weekend to make a difference with what you've done so far today. It's going to be a fun weekend for you.
Hey, I said it from the beginning. Before we even rehearsed to open, I said, you watch. Rachel Garcia knows that she's not in the top 4, and she's going to make the heaviest push out of anyone. So I said it. I manifested it.
And Rachel, I don't want to make you too uncomfortable, but I've watched a lot of softball in my life. And maybe this isn't true, but when I watch you, so many things you do, from your mannerisms to the way you control the game, reminds me of Lisa Fernandez, who I still consider to be the greatest of all time. So I mean this is nothing but a compliment, but that's what I see when I watch you play.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It was just awesome getting to work with her, too. So,
amen. Lucky, jealous.
Congratulations. Enjoy the rest of this game, and we'll see you again tomorrow, okay?
Thank you.
Rachel Garcia. Man, what a 5th inning that was by her.
When you just love getting to hear the conversations of, like, I just said I was going to commit to hitting something on the outer half, and she got it, and it worked in her favor, and you love to see and hear those conversations.
Alicia Ocasio comes out of the pen and only allows a 2-out base runner. That's it. We move to the bottom of the 6th.
A lot of times as girls and as women, we're taught to be humble. But there's a point when that confidence, you need to turn it up.
You wake up, you open your eyes, it is game day.
I did not want to be late.
Racing to the field and getting those butterflies.
The sounds, the smells.
We thought we were so tough, putting on eye black.
Acting like you're a stud, even though you're 10 years old.
That one swing that just feels so good.
You're figuring out who you are, and you're doing it together.
Everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN is sponsored by Nike and by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact. Well, it has been an absolute doozy of a start to our Week 5 here in Rosemont, Illinois. What had been a shutout through the first 4 innings is now a 6-0 lead for Team Gibson when they just erupted in the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, we've got another one coming your way. Team Alexander going to take on Team Denham. Alyssa Denham against Odyssey Alexander. That'll be about 20 minutes after this game ends. You can find it on ESPNU. Odyssey Alexander currently in the #1 spot on our leaderboard, but you never know. As a pitcher, folks, you can go backwards. The razor's edge. Here's Abby Ramirez. I know this sounds silly, but she's got my vote for MVP too. Abby Ramirez got it all started an inning ago with a leadoff base hit. That seemed to energize everyone on that Team Gibson team. Abby's only other time up, she was robbed of a base hit on a nice play by Hannah Flippen. She's not the first person in the world to be robbed by Hannah Flippen. Won't be the last. No, maybe MVP 3. One down here in the 6th inning. For every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season, Aspiration is committed to planting 10 trees. So far, heading into this Week 5, we're committed to seeing 1,670 trees planted, courtesy of Aspiration. First ball swinging, Sis Bates. 2 down.
And she committed to the outside pitch. She said if she saw something out there, she was taking it deep. Straightaway center. Gosh, that has to feel so good. And the chair chat and Savannah Collins, and she's not a player that you get a whole lot of emotion from. She just never has been that type of player. She wasn't at UCLA. She was always stoic. And it just has to feel good to know that you can play both sides of the ball, and that you're still performing and playing at the highest of highs. You know, those are the little moments.
Stung deep to center field, off the wall. Bubba Nichols heading into second with a double. Bubba Nichols absolutely crushed that one to straightaway center. And Mariah Masson, lucky that one is still in the ballpark.
This is that drop ball on the inner half. She turns, gets her hips right through it. So good. And that's pretty heavy velo, down and in at 69 miles an hour. Does a really good job getting her hands inside that. Garcia thought, hey, maybe my fellow UCLA Bruin Bud is going to go yard too, but just a little 20-point double.
So all of a sudden, Bubba Nichols dreaming big dreams. Began the day 5th out of 60 board on the out of 60 players on the leaderboard. She's now 4th. She has got a single and a double, so 30 stat points for Bubba Nichols. Nice pitch. 1-1 to Wiggins. Wiggins drove in the game's first run with the bat on her shoulder. Bases loaded an inning ago, drew a walk. Into the gap, left center field. That'll get down and drive in another run. Back-to-back doubles for Team Gibson. It's a 2-out RBI for Megan Wiggins.
Megan Wiggins, this pitch on the outer half just hits it straight to left center. Gosh, a lot of strength behind that. Hits gaps really well, obviously really speedy, but to me, it's about winning those innings. That's another inning win for Team Gibson here in the bottom of the 6th, scoring yet again. So that is 60 points so far that they have been able to win with those rollover 50 points from the 5th.
0-2 to Sierra Romero. Yeah, taking a look now to the 7th inning. Team Flippin will have 8, 9, and 1 scheduled to hit against, we assume, Alicia Ocasio, who pitched the 6th inning. Jasmine Jackson, Sydney McKinney, Victoria Hayward scheduled to bat. Team Flippin is in danger of losing every single inning, which would be a big-time problem here in the final weekend of the season. Base hit for Romero. Wiggins scores from second to make it an 8-0 lead. This all happening with 2 outs.
Just goes down and gets this pitch and pokes it right through the right side, right by Vidalis and Harshman. Ton of speed from second, adding on another run here for Team Gibson.
Now, people aren't going to believe this, but this was a pitcher's duel through the 4th inning. Scoreless game. The worm turned in the bottom of the 6th inning. And now it's all Team Gibson. They lead 8-0. No reason not to smile. Odyssey Alexander has been in first place on the leaderboard for the last 3 weeks, trying to hold on. She's got 3 more games to prove it. Starting about 20 minutes after this one ends, it'll be Team Alexander against Team Denham. Alyssa Denham began today 4th on the leaderboard. She's been dropped down to 5th just in what we've seen here in our game 1. Every at bat super important for Danielle Gibson the rest of the way. She's not giving away this at bat. She already got 2 hits today. And no reason not to swing 2-0. Can't walk your way to a championship. Oh, off-speed pitch, a beauty. 2-2.
If I'm the zone, I'm going right back down with that drop into Danielle Gibson. She got that strikeout on Abby Ramirez on the inner half. Can get good downward bite on that pitch.
Ramirez and Bates, 2 quick outs to begin our 6th inning. But then back-to-back doubles, Nichols, Wiggins, and the single by Sierra Romero. Rachel Garcia has MVP 1 on lockdown, you'd imagine. Danielle Gibson bucking for MVP 2, which would be a plus 40. She's already got 2 hits today. This one dies in the glove of Jasmine Jackson. What a play. That denies Gibson of what would have been a double and would have drove in another run. Great play by Jackson, and that'll end the inning. But another inning win for Team Gibson. Trying to finish it off in style. The 7th is next. We've made it to the 7th inning. If Team Flippin cannot score or run this inning, the ball game will end. Team Gibson will not need to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning, and they will have won all 7 innings. That is a huge amount of points here for a Week 5 game. This is our updated leaderboard. Odyssey Alexander, she is yet to play, and she's still in first place. She had a commanding lead heading into this weekend, but Danielle Gibson's going to get a huge boost with this game. Hannah Flippin third. Bubba Nichols has jumped into the 4th spot. Rachel Garcia, she's on the outside looking in, but she's going to get a big-time bump as well. We're thinking MVP 1 for her, which is going to be an extra 60. Alicia Ocasio came on in the 6th inning, threw up a 0. She'll face Jasmine Jackson, Sydney McKinney, and Victoria Hayward unless we have a pinch hitter.
And we were doing that chair chat with Rachel Garcia during the top half of the 6th. We didn't even really get to talk about how well Alicia Ocasio threw. I mean, she came in, she just executed her job and got in and got out quickly in that 6th inning.
Pitched like a champion, which she is. You can see on that left shoulder, she's got the patch. Alicia Ocasio, the 2021 Athletes Unlimited softball champion. Like Rachel Garcia, an elite 2-way player. Doesn't have the pop that Garcia has. Alicia Ocasio, one of the more popular players over the years. If you don't know, people call her Lily. You can see, you can hear the players stands and the dugouts shouting her name. Jackson stays alive.
Alicia Ocasio has actually changed her windup. I know we've talked about it in previous weeks, but she used to have that big arm swing back and is having some issues with that. So it really changed that completely.
Right back to the best fielding pitcher in the world today. 1 down. We always talk about what a great fielder she is, but when she plays defensively, she's rarely in the infield. She's usually out in the outfield someplace.
Yeah, I've seen her make not only some fantastic plays here in Athletes Unlimited, but when she was playing with Team Puerto Rico, her national team, I mean, she's the MVP there. She can play anywhere. She can pitch. She can hit. She can do it all. And she's made some phenomenal plays that I've witnessed at that international level.
That is a foul ball. I think. Yep, foul ball. Sydney McKinney will have to go back into the batter's box, down to the count 0-2. Ocasio strikes out McKinney. And now Team Flippin with just one out to work with. Victoria Hayward, the last hope to keep this game alive for Team Flippin. Remember, if they score a run this inning, they would make Team Gibson bat in the bottom of the 7th inning to see who would win the 7th. But if they don't score, it is going to be all she wrote, with Team Flippin losing all 7 innings and the game. That would be a plus 120 for everyone on Team Gibson. '68th career hit for Victoria Hayward, coming back in the 5th inning. Those 68 hits, the most in Athletes Unlimited history. Oh my goodness, did you see that? That pitch, what about 4 different levels? Into left field, ball game. Bubba Nichols makes the play, and it is a shutout win for Team Gibson. They win all 7 innings. Everyone on their team just in inning and game points going to be a plus 120.
The most you can get.
You're right. You are absolutely right. Here's your leaderboard. This does not include the game win points, which is a plus 50, nor does it have the MVPs. MVP 160, MVP 240, MVP 3 is 20.
Hey, if Odyssey's not feeling the pressure of Gibby, boom, I don't know. There's something crazy is going to happen here, Eric. I'm just putting that into the existence here.
Oh, my. Sure hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, there's a lot more coming your way. We've got another game in about 20 minutes' time. Sure hope you catch it on ESPNU. It's Team Alexander, Team Denham. But for now, for Danielle, for Savannah Collins, I'm Eric Collins. We'll see you back in a bit.